I mean, this is still Buddha. Okay. Now, he's talking about Buddha here. He said, Buddha, we must remember, did not teach a speculative psychology. He taught a practical one designed to liberate practitioners from dissatisfaction. I do not teach theory, he said, I analyze. He refused to answer questions that would feed either the tendency to cling to some kind of absolute romanticized ideal or that would enable nihilistic distancing. There were, in fact, 14 subjects that the Buddha repeatedly refused to discuss, all of them searching for absolute certainty. I'm just going to mention one of them, okay? Whether an enlightened being existed after death, or does not, or both, or neither. So in other words, according to this, what he's saying is Buddha refused to speculate on what happens after death.
Right.
He didn't say that you get reincarnated. He didn't say that you disappear into nothing. He basically said, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. But we do hear a lot of people in Buddhism seem to believe in the idea of reincarnation, that you live more than one life. Now, to me, this seems to be a little bit contradictory to what Buddha said, because Buddha apparently, according to this, declined to speculate on whether there was another life or not. So what do you think about that? How do you rectify those two?
What I would say is that the key word that you're looking at there is an enlightened being. Some people, some forms of Buddhism believe that an enlightened being doesn't become reincarnated. Pretty much all Buddhism thinks that there's reincarnation, and actually, if you look, I've talked about reincarnation with lots of people. Some people believe in reincarnation or on a moment-by-moment basis, like a millisecond-by-millisecond basis, as far as the energy. The person that you are reincarnated as isn't your personality, isn't your thoughts. It's just this no-self energy. And especially with quantum physics now, we're finding that no-self energy is like everything, all at the same time, and it's constantly being shifted around. So it depends. I mean, even reincarnation is sort of it's just so hard to define. What is reincarnation, I guess? And it's like living multiple lives, and then that's another philosophical thing. What's another life?
What's another life if you can't remember?
Let me just say let me just say this. I've read this whole book, and he makes this point repeatedly in here. Buddha never talked about reincarnation. He never talked about what happened after you died. That's what he says in here.
Okay.
So he gives off the impression, this author, that this idea did not originate with the original Buddha. And therefore, if it didn't originate with the original Buddha,
why do they share it?
It must have come later. It must have come later. So what do you think about that?
I don't know that I believe him.
Yeah, I don't know that that's true.
I don't know that I believe him.
Mm-hmm. You're both under the impression that reincarnation is a pretty standard part of all different sects of Buddhist teaching.
I don't even know. Like I said, from what the kind of Buddhism that I believe in is more about experiencing. So I would say that at my point in my practice, I haven't realized a reincarnation after death. So I wouldn't want to make a judgment on it necessarily. But I have to say that seems to be a general consensus, even among people that believe in the same thing or that take the same path that I'm taking. Whereas it's all experiencing what's around you and experiencing what's happening.
And that you're here to experience. That's what you're here for. You have a purpose, right?
Yeah. Now that doesn't. If it's about experiencing, that doesn't really require any kind of assumption about reincarnation. You're just experiencing what you're experiencing.
That's true, but there's kind of like no point to it if it doesn't continue.
Well, the purpose, according to the Dalai Lama, the purpose of life is to be happy.
Yeah.
Not to be reincarnated. You know, I mean, that doesn't require that it continue. It just requires that you're happy while you're here.
Right.
Yeah. The purpose of life is to be happy. Right. But the happiness is not the end. It causes you to create it and share it and spread it, and being happy makes you spread happiness to other people. That kind of thing.
I'll say this. I don't believe that it's necessary to have a belief in reincarnation or enlightenment, actually, for that matter, in order to be a Buddhist. I don't think that those are things that are generally accepted among Buddhists, but I would say that those aren't exactly two things. In fact, attachment to nirvana has been cited as a Buddhist
Okay, and actually, they don't make it sound that great, like you really want to go there, because it sounds boring, actually, but, so, it's like the reincarnation is the thing, but it doesn't mean, I don't think anybody believes that you remember.
No.
You don't remember, you just live out your karma, and you get better, you get better, to learning in each lifetime. Learn a little bit. Or sometimes you don't. Then you're okay. Next time.
I love that, but a lot of the ideas of reincarnation and coming back as a pig, those all come from Hinduism. Those are original Buddhist thoughts. So.
Well, that would go along with what you said as well.
But Buddha himself was on that other religion.
Well, he started out as a Hindu, and he practiced with a bunch of other kinds of Hindus. And there's 7 different yogas in the Hindu religion. And so he went through these ones that he could find great lists, but he wouldn't find what he was looking for. And then when he finally stopped trying to find what he was looking for and had no attachment to needing to find this greater, that's sort of when he had this awakening. Like I said, I don't even think that he talked about it. Like enlightenment is another one of those things you can say sort of tacked on to Buddhism, or kind of tacked on. They all assumed that they knew what the Buddha was experiencing, but if they really knew, then he wouldn't have had to take so many Yamaras to say it. You know what I mean? He used a whole lot of words, and I think in any religion, if you look at it right, in Christianity, the best path is to be Christ-like and not Christian. In Buddhism, I think the best path to take is to be Buddha-like and not a Buddhist.
I think it's essential. I think it's essential Buddhism for not necessarily
Essential?
That part of an essential part of Buddhism that you are part of something that doesn't die.
I think it really goes hand in hand with quantum physics. There's the quantum field, the field of possibilities never dies. It's always there. Before the Big Bang, the quantum field was there. After the Big Bang, the quantum field was there. I mean, it's always there. We're all part of something. There's completely this total interconnectedness that I don't think anybody would really.
So it's like source and returning to source. It's not that I necessarily think this discrete thing is coming back as another discrete thing. Maybe there'll be pieces of somebody else in there. I don't know.
Well, let me give you another concept of being part of something bigger. Steve J. Gould, who was a famous biologist, is my dad. He did not believe in life after death, but he said he's part of the continuity of living things that's been unbroken for over 2 billion years. And that chain of life has continued on, and it will continue on beyond him. He said, that is something bigger. Even though I personally, when I die, that's it, I'm done. But I am still part of the chain of life. And I'm then part of it, and the chain of life will go on.
Yeah, and actually I think when I die, I'm done. I think I believe that even more than the Christians do. Because at least the way they are, they're going to come back, like in their same body, only healed and all that, and live in heaven. And I don't believe that this thing will ever manifest itself in the same way again. It will be part of something else.
So you can be part of something bigger without your own essence continuing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I understand as reincarnation. It's the continuation of the energy. And it's getting to be so weird, especially I've been reading about string theory. And if you really think about string theory just says that everything's made of energy. Strings are just energy. So we're all just part of the same energy field, I don't think anything.
I mean, at the bottom of it, physics explains a lot of phenomena. But at the bottom of it, there's no scientific explanation for why anybody's here, why anything's here. There isn't an answer. That's an unanswered question.
The Deepak.
Was that
Deepak
But the thing is, the whole experience. The whole experience is improbable, illogical, and miraculous and bizarre anyway.
Exactly. I think that's a very good point to sum up our panel discussion, and I'd like to thank our visiting experts in Buddhism for coming. And you reminded me of another famous quote from Albert Einstein. He said, either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you very much.